refreshing than a Mountain Dew gong. This is the Smackdown Rundown. So let's can we do the whole bit where you talk about what matches happened?
We could, because there actually wasn't very many.
No, there wasn't. This SmackDown had a lot of blah blah blah, and a lot of video package, and a couple really long commercial breaks.
Well, in the matches we had, there were some extra commercial breaks, but the matches were actually very lengthy matches throughout the show. So we had Team Bad defeat Team Bella. We had Ryback defeat Kevin Owens by countout. We had the Gravity Dragons defeat the Cosmic Wasteland, and the Dudley Boys and Kane defeated Seth Rollins and the New Day.
Only 4 matches.
Yeah.
That's okay, because we were opening up with Seth Rollins on his way to the ring. He didn't even want his theme music to keep playing.
No, he wanted answers, bro.
He was like, blah, 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 what happened with Kane, and why is he so evil, and whatnot. And Kane came out and he says, you know what?
He was on crutches.
Yeah.
Kane was on crutches.
Sorry it took me so long to get out here, but I'm a little bit slower than usual.
Yeah. You smashed my leg on Monday Night Raw.
Which he didn't actually say. He's very coy about it.
He's corporate Kane. He's got to be very.
Well,
he's got to be businesslike.
What I like though is that corporate Kane is very like, well, you know what, Seth? It was probably an accident or something.
He's like making excuses for Seth.
Yeah.
And Seth's like, no. Seth's like very blatant about what he's doing. Like,
yeah, and I really like that Seth finally like tried to take the time out to be like, all right, Kane, if you're not doing this on purpose, like if you're not doing this because you actually want to get revenge on me, then you have some serious mental health issues and you're in need of psychiatric therapy.
You need help.
And Kane's just like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you know what? I'm going to put you in the main event. I'm going to team you up with the New Day because you need some positivity in your life.
You know, one quick thing before we talk about that. He mentioned that apparently this Saturday at the Madison Square Garden show, he's getting a U.S. title shot against Cena.
Rollins is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Kane said, I don't know if you're worried about your U.S. title match this Saturday or what, but I'm going to put you in the main event, and I'm going to team you up with the most positive people in WWE, the New Day, and you're going to take on the
I totally missed the Cena thing.
Yeah. It threw me. It was very quick, but I was like, okay. I'm not upset that we get to see Seth Rollins versus John Cena again, because it's been good the last couple times. But yeah, they'd be facing the Dudleys and the Demon.
Yes, the person who's been making Seth Rollins' life a nightmare for the last few days. And, Kane was like, hey, I'm pretty sure you want to get your hands on him and you want to take him out or whatever, so we'll put him on the team with the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins is like, wait.
No.
I'm only going to do it with a specific one request, else I'm not going to do it. And Kane's like, whoa, what?
What is it?
He says, you need to be sitting at ringside.
And Kane's like, wouldn't miss it, Seth. But our first match, we had a 6-diva tag team match. We had Team Bella taking on Team Bad. We had the Bellas, talking trash.
Because they do that. Because they're annoying.
But then Team Bad came out and Naomi says, everyone keeps trying to figure out who started the Divas Revolution. Well, it doesn't really matter because what matters about what people are going to remember about the Divas Revolution is when Team Bad ended it. So Team Bad is claiming dominance over this whole revolution of Divas. And this was a good match. I enjoyed this match a lot.
I like there was a lot of frequent tags from both sides.
Everybody got a bit to do. Everyone had a lengthy part of this match.
Everyone had in-ring time, which is great to see in any kind of a 6-person match.
Yes.
Or any multi-person, more than just a tag team match, that each person gets significant time in the ring, other than just, one person gets beat up the whole time and then somebody else comes in with a hot tag and finishes the match.
Yeah, and I think almost everybody worked with everyone. There wasn't a specific set of people that were in the match for the longest time. Granted, Nikki did take a lot of the physical abuse as far as Team Bad trying to cut her off from Team Bella.
And I don't know if it's like anything or if I'm just reading into this too much, but it seems like whenever Team Bella is in any kind of a match that involves Tamina, they never want to fight Tamina.
Well, yeah,
and
it seems like scary.
Yeah, but it always seems like they try to relegate Alicia Fox to be the one to face Tamina.
It's because she's a tall one.
Yeah, I think I might be reading into it too much, but I think maybe Tamina might be a little rough for the Pretty Little Bellas.
They can't take that Samoan beating?
Probably not.
Get the hell out the kitchen then.
I would say my spot of the match goes to Brie and Alicia Fox yanking Naomi out of the ring.
Oh, and her face planting on the outside.
And she did full frontal bump to the floor.
Yeah.
Torso, legs, everything.
I had never actually paid attention to how flawless it is, but Sasha's setup for the double knees in the corner is just great because she's got Nikki up on the top. She sweeps her legs out underneath the ropes and then hammers her down on the other side and then jumps up and does the double knees. It's just a flawless setup for that move.
Yeah, and it's really good, and it's coming to light as a really cool move now, because it was always a super cool move, the double knees in the corner,
right,
that she does, but it just that not every single time has a great setup. So
yeah.
A lot of times the setups look wonky,
yeah,
or there's a reason okay, well, she didn't really hit the person, so why are they just sitting there waiting, kind of thing. And it's the things you notice, or the things I notice as a wrestler gains more experience.
Yes.
Is they are able to tweak these little things. So, okay, now from here on out, every time she does that move, it's going to come from a place that makes more sense than when it did when she first started using it.
Yeah. And Team Bella was looking like they were going to win. We had, a whole lot of action going on, and Nikki hit a big forearm on Sasha, was about to set her up for the rack attack. She would get distracted. Tamina would try to go for a super kick, which Nikki would grab her leg, kind of toss her out. That would actually allow Tamina and Naomi to double super kick Alicia Fox on the outside. This distracted Nikki long enough to get hit with the bank statement, and while Brie was trying to crawl in and try and break up the pin, she was held back by Naomi, and Sasha made Nikki tap out again, making her tap out all the time.
Yeah, well,
Sasha Banks.
Banks has got a really impressive submission hold.
Hell,
WWE's going to put it over.
Goddamn right. Then we had Seth Rollins. He was he's not feeling this main event. He's still really worried about the whole Kane situation.
Not feeling it at all.
But the New Day was there to make it all better.
With the power of positivity.
Telling him that clapping will make everything better. Clapping will figure out your problems. Clapping will make you positive. Because Seth is the man. Seth's the man. And it was hilarious. We've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Seth be completely against what the New Day is doing, but to see him actually get involved, he was happy, he was chanting.
Well, what I like about it is a lot of times if the New Day has an outside partner, the outside partner is usually reluctant at first, but the New Day is so good at sweet talking their partner.
Yes.
Being like, yeah, well, this is awesome that we get a team with you. We're going to make this all about you, and you're cool, and you should be clapping with us. And they try and make him the star in order to get him in the mindset for the match.
And
so they left, and they were clapping, Xavier was tromboning, and Seth was punching. I'm the man.
And then Kane crouched in behind them and was smiling, watching them walk down the hallway, which was just extra creepy.
Well, he's happy for Seth.
Yeah, of course.
He wants to see Seth in a happy place.
Yeah.
And, the New Day's helping. That's exactly why he paired them together. He said that.
Yeah.
He needed the positivity.
Yeah. We had JoJo interview Becky and Charlotte, asking pretty much, is there any way that Team PCB will be able to coexist and reform as a group? Charlotte and Becky are both kind of at the same point. It's like, Paige has totally gone off the deep end. She's in her own mindset, and she turned her back on us.
Yeah.
And there's really no bringing her back in. Paige would actually come in and go, oh, go ahead, keep talking about me, and Charlotte gave her the ultimatum. It's you're either with us or you're against us. And
they just kind of walked away.
Well, and she goes, well, she got really mad. She's like, did you just give me an ultimatum? And they're like, you didn't really give us a choice.
Yeah. And they're like, we've had enough of you. We're going away.
And then Paige is kind of left there, and all of a sudden Natty shows up, and Natty says, if you disrespect me in any way like you did last week, then you're gonna be sorry you ever met me. So Paige
is not somebody I want to get on the bad side.
No, and Paige is just not making friends right now. She is a lone wolf as far as the Divas division goes. She's got no allegiance at this point. We'll see how well that works out for her. We had Ryback getting another shot, or I guess this was his rematch for the Intercontinental title. Him and Kevin Owens going at it one-on-one. Lots of good stuff out of this. Lots of good power moves on the part of both guys.
Yeah, one of the things that really I thought that highlighted the early half of this match is that Ryback kept doing moves to Owens that just left Owens hanging up in the air. And Owens was screaming the whole time.
Yeah, he was gorilla pressing.
Gorilla pressing held him up there for a long time, and then Owens ended up slipping off and getting out of it. But then Ryback immediately put him into a stalling suplex where he was back up in the air again.
Yeah, and Kevin Owens, just being, just as physical as he is, just no care about what he's doing to the other person. Whether it's the senton, whether it's just using these little things just to get the slight advantage over Ryback. Ryback tried to go for a shell shock once, and Owens was able to get out of it. They wound up on the outside and ended up hitting a really, really stiff double clothesline.
Good job outside, Kurt.
Ref got to about 7, and Ryback realized what was going on. He goes, "Oh crap! I can't be out here. I can't lose." He gets in. About 8, 9. Owens is about to get in and realizes I don't have to, and loses by countout. So Ryback wins, but he doesn't win the Intercontinental title. Owens tries to take advantage at this point, tries to beat down on Ryback, but Ryback is still on top as far as the end of the match goes. He ends up hitting the meat hook clothesline, hits the shell shock,
but isn't the Intercontinental champion.
So, I mean, he's got the advantage, but he doesn't have a belt.
He won the battle, hasn't won the war.
Yeah. Sad day for Ryback.
The Ryback.
We had the Wasteland, Cosmic Wasteland, and Gravity Dragons go in a 6-man tag. I feel like they've just lost what idea they had for this feud here, because they had a cool setup for it, and then they immediately gave us the match, and now it's just kind of like hey, we need a fast-paced match on the card, and that kind of bothers me.
Yeah, to an extent, me as well, but at the same time, I mean, I don't see anywhere this really was planning on going in the first place.
Well, I'm not saying it has to be like this, this month-long build up to a big match. I just feel like they gave it to us so fast. Like they could have dragged it out a little longer. Given us some interesting combinations. Have Kalisto and Neville team up against Stardust and one of the members of the Ascension, and different things like that.
Totally against WWE's formula.
Yeah, unfortunately. The match was still really good though.
Yeah. Connor and Victor really tried to shine hard in this
Victor, with his sit out.
He did the Michinoku driver off the second rope.
Yeah, to Neville. Yeah. Dude. You were
Ascension stepping their game up.
You were like, what is he going to do? And they did that, and we went, whoa!
Yeah, well, I saw I looked away, and then I came back, and I just watched it just in time to see him slam down with Neville. I was like, you got it, Victor! Yeah.
Neville and Sin Cara were working together a lot. Neville assisting with the suicide dive through the ropes of Sin Cara. I thought the Cosmic Wasteland was going to have it because it left Connor and Kalisto in the ring by themselves.
Yeah.
And
it looked like Kalisto even tried to go for Selena Del Sol, and Connor propped him up for a power slam instead.
Yeah, and it was not looking good for Kalisto, but Kalisto was able to swerve it around and hit Selena Del Sol and pin Connor for the win. And Stardust was looking a little worse for wear on the outside. He was not in a good mood.
Well, Stardust at this point now has a whole boatload of problems.
Well, yeah.
Because he hasn't been able to have a significant victory over Neville yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he hasn't lost every time against Neville, but he hasn't had that defining victory yet that would be the feud ender.
Yeah.
He thought he was getting the advantage when he joined up with the Ascension, but Neville ended up picking the team that beat the Ascension in NXT.
Exactly.
And Wade Barrett is back.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm wondering if this.
So he's got like 4 problems. What I'm hoping is we're gonna see Stardust enlist another person in his team. Wade Barrett will make an uncomfortable alliance with Neville and the Lucha Dragons.
Ooh.
And we're going to see that as a 4-on-4 or potentially 5-on-5 Survivor Series match in November.
I like the way you think. I'm all for that. Let's do that.
Hashtag hire me WWE.
Yes. We had the Wyatt family come out. Roman Reigns wanted to address what happened between him and
Bray
Roman.
Wyatt did.
What did I say?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, I meant.
He's not part of the Wyatt family.
No.
He didn't come out with them.
I'm gonna try that again. Bray Wyatt would come out and address what happened between him and Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw.
And how much they just beat the ever-loving crap out of each other. They beat each other up so much, some other guy from the tech team also was beat up because of it.
As you so aptly said on Monday, he was flying and then he ran into a Roman Reigns.
Yes.
But yeah, Bray talked about how this, no matter where, this is all a circle. It all started at one point and it's come back around, and it's always been about you and me. But I still have to say, anybody but you, Roman. Like, he has it so out for Roman Reigns. He realizes what this has come to, and he doesn't even feel that Roman Reigns deserves to be in that spot. He wants to end it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get to talk too much further because Roman Reigns ends up making his way down to the ring.
And then they have an awkwardly long stare down.
It was interesting, and I like the fact, Bray had Luke and Braun both stand on either side of the ring. And then,
it was like I feel like it was his attempt to try and break Roman's concentration, because Roman was tunnel visioned on Bray.
Yeah.
And Bray does his little wink wink nudge nudge, and Harper goes to one side and stands in the corner, and Braun goes to the other side and stands in the corner, almost like they're triangling around Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I was almost expecting this to trigger Dean Ambrose to come down, and maybe even Randy Orton to come from, maybe Ambrose comes from the other side of the crowd and Orton comes down from the entryway or whatnot. But no, it ended up just being Roman, and Roman walked right up to Bray, stared at him for a while. Bray started to try and talk, and Roman took the microphone from him and only had 4 words for him. Hell in a Cell. And Bray looked at him and goes, "Are you prepared to die?" And I was like, oh shit, it's going down. So
right now we know for sure that we're going to have not only Undertaker and Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, which, you can guarantee that that's probably going to be a fairly violent encounter. But now we're also going to have Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns in Hell in a Cell. And considering what they've been doing to each other on just Raw and Smackdown,
yeah,
we potentially have 2 extremely physical, violent Hell in a Cell matches.
And I'm going to say it right now, with the fact that, usually we only get 2 Hell in a Cells, are we not going to have Kane versus Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell? Or is Kevin Hawk going to get his wish, and are we going to get an entire Hell in a Cell card?
Yeah, that'd be neat. The one thing I'm realizing is, even if they do an entire Hell in a Cell card, they're probably going to pick the Cell up for the Divas match.
Yeah. Damn.
WWE and your silly wanting to be gentlemen.
Girls can't be badass. But yeah, Roman Reigns ends up just walking away. No attacks whatsoever, but Bray's all for it, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I mean, let's be honest. Hell in a Cell was created to give people a violent attraction to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and this is something that you, me, and Thomas have all talked about. Thomas especially, is that Hell in a Cell is made to be a feud ender.
Yeah.
And I think with the fact that we have Undertaker Lesnar 3, and we have what could be the final confrontation between Roman and Bray, these are the perfect match, the perfect storylines to be in this perfect match type.
Yeah, and speaking as a feud ender, I mean, if you watch the Brock Lesnar Go to Hell advertisement,
it says
it says Final Battle when it's talking about the words Final Battle actually flash on the screen.
Yeah.
When they're talking about Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar.
And Paul Heyman's voiceover even says that the Go to Hell tour ends in Los Angeles when he faces Undertaker.
So I mean, yeah, there's something about the Hell in a Cell. It is that violent attractor in a pay-per-view.
Definitely.
Because when Hell in a Cell was a thing, like a big deal before it had its own yearly pay-per-view, every Hell in a Cell match was like almost always a bloody spectacle.
Yes.
And even now, without blood,
Brock Lesnar's gonna bleed.
Oh, no doubt. He can't bleed in a regular. He can't not bleed in a regular match. UFC turned his forehead into mush. But I feel like they have a lot of the right pairings to put on violent Hell in a Cell matches to make it feel like Hell in a Cell old.
Yes. Yeah.
Where
taking away
a lot of times where I'm thinking like, oh, Randy Orton versus John Cena, just because they're trying to put their two top guys in a match, But okay, Undertaker and Lesnar, they've already done it, and now that they've had two plain matches against each other. It's time that the third match needs to be kind of up the ante.
Yeah.
Bray and Roman, we know they go in these anything goes kind of matches. Even if they do Kane and Seth, you can imagine with Kane's ability to go in a no disqualification match setting and Seth's athleticism could turn into a really fun Hell in a Cell match.
For sure.
Ryback and Owens, if they do that again. That could be a
super
very
brutal
Hell in a Cell match. Lots of chucking each other against the cage and stuff.
They would whoop the shit out of each other. I mean, hey, if it happens, go for it. Let's see how it works. Shit, put the girls in it. Let's do it. Just throw the girls in Hell in a Cell.
Hell Gina match.
Well, on that note, let's go to our main event.
Hey, how about it?
Corporate Kane is already sitting at ringside. He's ready to check this out. He's been trying to make sure that the Demon shows up for this match.
Yeah.
Rollins makes his way down. The New Day makes their way down. The Dudleys come out. Then the Demon's music hits. There's no one there.
Yeah. Seth looks very angry.
He's just looking at Kane like, "Where's the Demon?" Kane's like, "I don't know. Don't look at me."
Kane legitimately says, and you can read his lips, "I have no idea what's going on." And the New Day seem like the only people to not be concerned by the lack of Kane as their opponent.
Yeah.
Because that's the smart thing. Is you to realize, oh, okay, Kane's not going to be on the opposite side of the ring from us? Good.
Yeah. Well, and the match...
And the Dudley boys are like, okay.
Yeah, the match starts and Bubba's like, what the fuck? Now it's a handicap match.
3-on-2, okay, whatever. At least we can kick a lot of ass.
Yeah. So, and the Dudleys, they're no strangers to a fight. They're from ECW. They're from Philadelphia. That's what they do. So they go into it.
Well, the Dudleys are from New York.
New York, Philly, ECW.
Yeah. They're ECW guys. That's all you gotta say.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, they really brought the fight. They were, on top of their game, doing everything they could. But Seth and the New Day worked really well together.
Yeah, Devon got stomped about 104 times in the corner.
Seth got his own trombone stomps.
Yeah, and his own...
Yeah, Kofi did his. Ron's like, I want to do one. I want to do one.
He jumped in the ring. I don't even think he tagged. He just jumped in the ring.
Big E's like, okay. But eventually, once Seth was tagged in, he did end up trying to dive. I don't remember who he was trying to dive onto.
It was onto Devon.
Was it Devon?
But Kane had got up and started checking on Devon.
Yeah.
Because Devon, like I said, he got stomped like 100 times in the corner.
Yeah, so Devon's out on the outside. Kane's checking on him. And Rollins dives and lands on Kane.
Yeah. And Kane has an injured leg, and so he had to go be helped to the back to take care of his leg.
But there was that moment where Seth actually ends up tagging out and follows Kane and the Doctor up the ramp like, where do you think you're going? You're supposed to be sitting at ringside. And Kane looks back and smiles at Seth, and Seth gets this, oh, fuck look on his face. And he runs back, and you brought it up perfectly. You're like, this would be the perfect time to try and end the fucking match.
Yeah, like, they needed to get in there. Like, Seth needed to get up there and go, okay, guys, do the midnight hour right
Do it now. Just, it doesn't matter. Let's just beat the hell out of them. Dudley's end up making a slight comeback. We end up hitting another double clothesline. And Devon dove onto the...
Yeah, he did the running apron dive and knocked down Xavier Woods and Big E, I think.
Yeah, and then Kofi was left in the ring. Kane ends up coming out. Ends up chokeslamming Seth. And
he hurls Seth into the barricade.
Yeah.
And then hucks him over into the timekeeper's area. Seth tries to get away. Kane grabs him, brings him back, goes to chokeslam him, and Seth smartly plants himself onto the commentary table on his feet so Kane can't slam him down onto the ground. But then he takes off through the audience.
He books it. He is gone. And this is enough of a distraction for Kofi, who doesn't realize that the Dudleys are setting up for the 3D right behind him. Kofi gets hit. Dudleys and Kane pick up the win. Rollins has made it back to the top of the stage, where he watches as Bubba tries to raise Kane's hand. Kane's got the championship now.
Yeah.
Because Seth left it again. So Kane's like holding that up, showing that he wants the title shot again. Bubba makes the mistake of trying to raise Kane's hand like, hey, cool, we won. And Kane goes, no, fuck that, and chokeslams Bubba, chokeslams Devon, double chokeslams Big E and Kofi, and then tombstones Xavier Woods. And everyone is down except for Kane, while Seth Rollins looks on in horror from the top of the ramp.
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta be in Seth Rollins' mindset right now, he's probably thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have to face Kane for my title pretty soon, and he just left 5 guys laying. So what are my odds? And
the fact that the next show that you'll probably face him at is Hell in a Cell. We know what Kane does in Hell in a Cell, and it's never good.
He rips doors off.
He does. He attacks his own brother.
How rude.
That means Brock Lesnar's gonna win. Fuck. That was it for SmackDown.
What if they do a total swerve? And, okay, so just bear with me here.
Okay.
They hold Lesnar Taker off for the very last match in Hell in a Cell. I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Yeah.
Because it's a big draw match. It's legendary Undertaker, badass Brock Lesnar.
It main evented SummerSlam, so why not?
And, say Kane has his match with Seth early in the show in his current Demon Kane attire, but the end of the pay-per-view, during the Lesnar Taker match, Kane comes out in his old Kane attire, the full mask and the one sleeve and everything, and he does the whole bit where he yanks the cage door off, but then he ends up chokeslamming Brock Lesnar instead.
If we can get the Brothers of Destruction back together, I am fine with that.
And then it leads to a WrestleMania match of Undertaker and Kane versus Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
Book it, WWE.
I'm doing your job for you.
Hire him as a writer, because that shit'll go over. Thanks for watching the SmackDown Rundown. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Click all those links down.
Facebook, Tumblr, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and emails.
Both of them.
2 of them.
Also, check out that playlist, because we got a Raw review. We got a midweek wrap-up. We got the SmackDown Rundown. Coming up, you get to see our predictions for NXT TakeOver next week.
Will.
And we will have an indie news.
We will!
With all kinds of stuff. All your favorite indie guys. We got new shows to talk about. Are we going to have results this week? Maybe.
One show, I think.
One show.
AAW's Jawbreaker.
All right.
I think is coming up.
Lots of ladies.
No. This might be actually Girls Night Out and Fresh Meat.
That's the one.
From AIW.
So, be sure to look forward to that.
A lot of chicks.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing.
Did you share?
Thanks for liking.
Did you share? Really? Because sharing is caring.
Let's talk about wrestling. Put comments. Comment what you think. Tell us how awesome this Kane storyline is, because it's the funniest thing he's done in years.
Comment if you agree if every match on the card for this upcoming pay-per-view should be in a Hell in a Cell.
I don't think it should, but...
Like I said, it needs to be a one-time only spectacle. And this year they have the right matches to do it.
Fair enough. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.